Good morning, South Africa, and welcome to SportCenter.
I'm Josh Wingo-Black.
And I'm JD Carroll.
We have a very special show for you today, starting with our breaking news.
The Springboks have just signed a new player named Jamar Kingston from the University of Johannesburg. He runs a 4.37 second 40 meter and is 280 pounds of pure stellar athlete.
In other news, Percy Montgomery is now the highest scoring South African rugby player and is now ranked 9th on the most ever points list.
Now to Andrew Maxwell at Ellis Park Stadium. He's live with Percy Montgomery right now.
Thanks, JD. As you can see, the field conditions are awful. There's rain everywhere, mud all over the field. It's just not a good day for rugby. Now here with me, I have Percy Montgomery.
Thanks, Andrew. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. The camera's that way. Alright, so, how does it feel to break this record to be the 9th person in rugby history for goals?
It feels great, Andrew. Just to know that my name will go down in Springboks history is just indescribable.
Do you feel like you can be an idol or an upcoming idol for future players?
My motivation as a rugby player is not to just win games. You know what I'm trying to say?
I know, I feel you.
Not to just win games or injure players on the other team, but it's to give people hope. I try to target the little kids that are economically disabled in Africa and that don't really have a chance in the future when it comes to, accomplishing their dreams. And I just want them to know that anything is possible. And I try to do that on the field.
Thank you, Percy. That is very inspiring. Now back to JD and Josh.
Andrew, make sure to tune in tonight when your South African Springboks and newly acquired free agent Jamar Kingston take on the New Zealand All Blacks.
What a good game, wouldn't you say, Josh?
I definitely would. But I'm not! Alright.
The New Zealand All Blacks have been a powerhouse for the history of the South African rugby team. But you've never heard it like this. Today on our 30 for 30 special, we will give you an in-depth look on the African apartheid and how rugby shined a light on this sad time. And now for our 30 for 30 special on the history of the Springboks.
Rugby was first introduced in 1861 at Winchester College in England. The sport really took off around the late 1800s and spread all throughout Europe and Northern Africa. Towards the early 1900s, almost all of Africa was involved in the Rugby Union, the world league that all of the teams play in to this day.
The Springbok is an antelope type of animal that is found in southwestern Africa and can run up to 62 miles per hour and can jump 13 feet horizontally. South Africa's mascot is the Springbok because of the way they survive even though they are the minority in the wild.
The South African Springboks had their first game in 1891 against the British Isles touring team. They started out very unorganized and untalented during the early years. But with tourists and new recruits, they became one of the best teams in the league by the 1940s.
The Springboks have had a complicated history with the apartheid in South Africa. It started when the European immigrants came down during the new imperialism and started to settle rule apartheid over the native Africans. Since day one of this new rule, the natives and the immigrants never got along well.
So for many years, the Springboks were only a white player team, and it was unfair for talented native Africans wanting to participate in this new and growing sport. All of this changed when a man, who stood up for what he believed in, was released after serving 27 years in prison. And his name, you guessed it, Nelson Mandela.
In 1994, Nelson Mandela was officially elected president for the country of South Africa, creating a large impact on the apartheid in South Africa. Nelson Mandela was the first person who put a black man on a rugby team. This was unheard of, and the moves he made changed everything.
Because he played Chester Williams on the rugby team, the whites and blacks of South Africa got along more and would sit together during the rugby games. And to this day, that bond between blacks and whites still remains. For more information about the Springboks, go on to springboks.edu. And if you want to get tickets for one of their next games, go to ticketmaster.com.
Wow, what an inspiring story.
Controversies are still being raised about the true gender of Caster Semenya, who placed first in the 800 meter in the 2009 World Championship.
After not competing in the local Yellow Pages series because of the lack of her gender test results, she was cleared to return to competition on July 6, 2010. In 2012, she was asked to carry the flag for Africa in the 2012 Summer Olympics.
And after almost 2 years, questions are arising once again about her true gender. She was recently interviewed by our very own Andrew Bladewell.
Hey. We're here in Pastor Simonia's locker room awaiting her. There she is. Come on, come on. Many people in South Africa believe your gender is actually male. How do you feel about this?
I'm a female.
Is that 100% true?
Yes, I'm a female.
Many people believe that this is a lie.
I'm a male!
This is Andrew Maxwell with very non-shocking news about Pastor Simonia.
That's not what I expected. I don't know about you.
I did not expect that at all. That was unprecedented. The 2010 World Cup in South Africa was big for the country. Naturally, South Africa felt an extensive amount of home field advantage facing Mexico. With the crowd on their side, they were confident and ready for a win.
When they got to the field, the crowd exploded. They knew Mexico couldn't live with them and their obnoxious crowd. The crowd gave them intensity to beat Mexico.
That is a prime example of how the fans of South Africa have come together ever since the ending of the apartheid.
That's right, Josh. And now for today's Not Top Play.
Today we have a special play for you. This is from last night's game between the South African Bladers and the Angolan Peregrines. This is Michael trying to attempt his always famous double 360 through the legs dunk.
Wow, he did not have it on that one, did he, Josh?
No, he did not. This has been another episode of SportCenter, brought to you by Doritos.
Yes.
Snack hard. Well, that's it from us here at SportCenter. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Same time, same place. We'll be here.
Yeah, we're just stalling.
Stay classy.
Yeah, come on, 7 minutes.
Well, that's it for us. Good show, everybody.